Hi everybody! In this video I'm going to show you how to do the purl stitch, which is basically the other stitch that you will need to know for knitting. Every stitch you ever learn will be some variation of a knit or a purl. So if you've watched my other videos you already know the knit stitch, and if you've done several rows of knitting you'll have what the bottom of this fabric looks like here, with the bumps spaced a little bit apart on both sides. And as you can see up top, I've started knitting where it's smoother, where it doesn't have bumps on one side, it's just got bumps on the back. That's a very desirable texture for things like scarves and hats. And, well, I don't know, most things you knit, you'll probably want to have that texture. And in order to do that on a flat knitted item, you need to be able to purl. So the way that this flat texture is achieved is that you knit across one row to create these V's, and then you purl across the back to keep the bumps on the same side. So let me show you how to purl real quick. You set it up just like for knitting, where you've got your yarn to whatever tension you like it at, and your left hand needle has all the stitches on it. Now for a knit you'd go in like this. For a purl, you do exactly the opposite. You pull the yarn to the front and you go in this stitch this way. You're going right to left, so opposite of knitting, and then you wrap your yarn over and around and pull that stitch through. Sorry, my fingers probably obscured that. Let me do it again. Yarn in front, go in your stitch, wrap your yarn over, pull your stitch out, and slide the old stitch off your needle. I'm just going to do it all the way across so you can see my method here. And you'll notice at the end of each stitch I pull it tight. That's just to kind of keep it from being baggy, I guess. It just kind of looks neater that way. Go in, wrap around, pull it back out, and tighten it. Go in right to left, wrap the stitch around, pull the stitch out, and kick the old stitch off your needle. Yarn in front, go in right to left, wrap your yarn over, pull the old stitch off. Okay, and that's the last stitch in that row. So then I put the right hand needle back in my left hand, and in order to keep that flat texture there, I just start knitting the next row. And you'd go across and knit this row, and then purl the next one, and so on and so forth. And that's how you get that nice flat fabric. Something you should know about this flat fabric, by the way, is called stockinette stitch, whereas this bumpy fabric is called garter stitch. I remember that because garters are a bump on your leg, whereas stockings are smooth. So stockinette stitch is very pretty, but if you knit something flat that is just stockinette stitch, it will curl. And so if you're going to do something like a scarf, you might want to start every row with 3 or 4 stitches of knit, regardless of what side of the fabric you are on. So then you will have like a frame around it where you have garter stitch here and then stockinette stitch to keep it flat, and then garter stitch on the end just to keep it from curling. But that's all personal preference, and if you know, even if you're just practicing with swatches, it's good to know how to purl and how to knit too. So I hope this video has been instructive, and ask me any questions.